The last community update is from the Storage Management Community. Over to Rochelle Alvers. Hello, Rochelle.
Yes, we saved the last for best. Thanks, Michael. Uh,
Indeed.
Welcome everyone. Yes, so I mentioned earlier, folks are paying attention. The SMI is now the Storage Management Community. Um, so no more confusing SMI with SMIS and SSM and Swordfish. It's now Swordfish and the Storage Management Community. Other than that, the charter effectively it stays the same. Still looking at how we uh, foster the creation of end user management and storage management solutions based on industry and SNIA standards that can be adopted industry wide. So we don't focus exclusively on Swordfish. We actually look at what is the right balance um, of standards-based management. So redfish, swordfish, NVMe, what's the balance and how do how do we ensure that we're focusing on advocating for standards-based management throughout the ecosystem? Next slide. So looking at that, both promoting our own standards and others, we look at how we can support those. So we were pretty busy in the last year. We think of ourselves as kind of the small but mighty group. We've been kind of the cornerstone of SNIA for a very long time. A couple of things we managed to do this year in this uh, in the space was actually finally getting the SNIA Swordfish trademark right, fully through the registration process. That takes an insane amount of time. As I talked about earlier in the Swordfish Twig overview, we did add, had the two releases there. And so the storage management community actually looked at how we can add do the promotion for that. So storage management community did the promotion of highlighting the enhanced support for NVMe and NVMe-OF, providing the infrastructure for that, and highlighting that support and also providing both the lab program as well as the conformance test program to support the standard itself. Also did partnering with NVMe, with DMTF, and with OFA to both promote redfish, swordfish, swordfish for NVMe, as well as the storage fabric management work that's happening there and highlighting working with OFA around the storage fabric management pieces in the overall fabric management components. Cameron was just talking about all the places. Stay was this year, and so we highlighted storage management at a lot of those same locations. We sponsored the SNIA Pavilion at both the FMS and then also at Supercompute. We had a public demo debut of the open source Swordfish implementation for NVMe drives, and then we highlighted that again at Supercompute. So we had basically open source implementation that also passes our conformance test programs. We have that available and highlighting not only implementations but open source reference implementations available, highlighting and expanding our NVMe functionality. So at SDC, we had a client workshop, the return of the hands-on lab, and looking at expanding those. We will have another one coming up, and I have highlight this a couple of times. In April, we will have PlugFest, so enhancing from hands-on labs to PlugFest at the SNIA event in Denver coming up in April. So we had the Open Standards Pavilion at Supercompute. We had 11 SNIA and partner booths at that event, as well as a standards panel that we participated in. We have 3 versions of Swordfish CTP that are active right now. 125A, 126, and 127 are all active. And we are starting to see vendors posting conformance as part of our CTP program. The current version of ISO, the Swordfish version that the Storage Management Community sponsors is 124A. We will be pushing the release of 128 on behalf of the Swordfish Twig in starting this month. And then we have a lot of webcasts. Some of our more popular ones that have hundreds of views are listed here. Next slide. So in 2025, our goal really is to look at leveraging the new SNIA membership model to really, expand and accelerate some of these. We have spent a lot of time in the last couple of years really working on getting our interoperability lab, the SNIA Innovations Lab, which CMS talked about earlier, where they have the hackathon, our lab, and the Redfish Lab that we leverage, that we host on behalf of the Redfish environment. They're co-located, and getting that ready to expand to support the expanded membership. As with the other groups, we have had, 8 new companies joined just in the last couple of months. I was just looking at the numbers. We had 25 people register with 8 new companies just in the last 2 months. So we'll be looking at expanding the use of our lab and encouraging folks to add new equipment into that environment. Following that is obviously continuing the support of the Swordfish Twig, as we mentioned earlier, also looking at expanded support for the follow-on work from the object drive that John talked about. And then also the client focus, working on engaging more with clients. We have multiple client companies that are are either working on or have already joined SNIA or planning to join SNIA based on the new membership models. This has been a big blocker. I will just highlight this. This has been a huge blocker for many, 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 many years. In case you haven't gotten that, it's been a long time. It's been a long time. This has been a big blocker for manageability, and that we have resolved with the new membership model. So we are very excited about the fact that we have multiple manageability clients that will be joining SNIA specifically to work with Swordfish and to engage with our programs. So we know some are still in progress and still working on joining. A lot of this the rest of this is all just the same work we've been doing for years, working on helping to accelerate the Swordfish development and adoption, which will really help now that we have some of these clients actually, working on joining and getting more tightly engaged, and also working with our partner orgs. Next slide. A little bit about how our org is structured. We have the overall community. We have a couple of programs, and then we have the operational side. On the program side, the lab is now something that once you're part of the storage management community, you can also join and get access to. Historically, this has been a very pricey thing to engage with. It's how we helped fund the engagement with everything else. Swordfish CTP will still be a value-add program. But the lab is definitely something that is now a benefit that folks can engage with. We will be looking for opportunities and ways for people to look at bringing equipment into the lab. So as folks are looking at Swordfish implementations, both on the client side and on the implementation side, we're really looking forward to expanding this and getting a lot more equipment into the lab. If there are other programs, just as an aside, if there are other communities that are looking at also trying to ramp up programs, there will be opportunities for that as well, in addition to CMS and storage management that have lab space today. Okay, next. Our governing board, we are in the middle of elections. I just sent out an additional reminder that elections are open through the end of this month. Here's our current governing board. And as a reminder, if you join storage management, you can get access to the lab. And then we do continue to see strong engagement from our governing board and from our existing governing board members, and are looking for additional engagement moving forward from all of the new companies that are not just engaging, but that are re-engaging. Next slide. We have several activities planned. I've mentioned already the Plug Fest that is planned in conjunction with SDC Regional in Colorado. The promotion and marketing around the 128 release coming out here at the end of this month in conjunction with the website release. It'll be a little bit of timing trying to get that all out around the release of the new website. We also do expect to be participating at the Open Standards Pavilion at Supercompute. We'll be working with the tracks and getting content into the tracks for FMS, and then looking at how we can do, webcasts, podcasts, blogs, etc., on other functionality and programs throughout the rest of the year. And I think is that the last one? Oh, no, just general engagement. Contact us. We are continuing to look at how we can work on promoting and accelerating the adoption of the standards. We are looking also at supporting all storage infrastructure. The storage Swordfish Twig is expanding, as noted earlier, to cover expanded functionality on file systems, DNA data storage. So anywhere you are interested in helping to educate and promote about standards-based management and manageability of these segments, we would love to have you come and participate. Please contact us at storagemanagement@snia.org for any additional questions. Thank you.